24 hours ago, no computer model showed deep south snow. This morning, the European model lights up with 6 to 10 inches across Alabama and Georgia. When models change this dramatically overnight, something significant is happening in the atmosphere. What if the warm Christmas everyone's expecting is actually setting up the coldest January in a decade? And what if 3 major snowstorms in 10 days are just the beginning? In 30 seconds, I'll reveal why meteorologists are calling this a puzzle piece moment, where atmospheric conditions that haven't aligned since 2014 are finally coming together. But first, understand this. The signals have been there for days. We just needed one more piece. Here's your 30-second reward. Atmospheric rivers in the Pacific, Arctic air building in Canada, and a southern jet stream carrying Gulf moisture. 3 separate systems. For weeks, they've operated independently. Between December 26th and January 5th, they collide. When they do, over 100 million Americans will experience significant winter weather. The European model this morning shows something forecasters have been watching for, but couldn't confirm until now. Tuesday, December 30th at 1 a.m., snow develops across Oklahoma. Not light snow, accumulating snow. By morning, Arkansas sees heavy snowfall. Mississippi, a state that rarely sees winter weather, could measure 2 to 6 inches. But here's the detail that changes everything. Alabama and Georgia show a bullseye, 6 to 10 inches possible. Atlanta, a city that shuts down with 1 inch of snow, potentially facing half a foot or more. This is one model run, one snapshot in time. 24 hours ago, this wasn't there. Tomorrow, it might shift. But the ingredients supporting this scenario, those are real. Those are measurable. Those aren't changing. Before I show you the other 2 major storms in this 10-day period, you need to understand something about atmospheric rivers that connects everything. Picture a river in the sky. Not clouds, not rain. An actual river of water vapor. 1,000 miles long, hundreds of miles wide, flowing 7 miles above the Earth's surface. When this river makes landfall, it dumps incredible precipitation. Rain at low elevations, snow at high elevations, feet of accumulation in the mountains. The West Coast has one hitting right now. The Cascades, Sierra Nevada, and Rockies are getting buried. 20 to 40 inches possible in some areas by Christmas. Ski resorts are measuring snow in feet per day, not inches. But here's what most people miss. That atmospheric river is actually creating the pattern that brings snow to the east. The river forces the jet stream to buckle. The buckle creates a downstream ridge. The ridge redirects cold air south. Everything connects. At minute 5, I promised you the puzzle piece explanation. Here it is. Imagine a jigsaw puzzle with 5 critical pieces. For weeks, we've had 3 of the 5. Arctic air in Canada, that's piece 1. Southern jet stream carrying moisture, that's piece 2. Active atmospheric river in the Pacific, that's piece 3. But without pieces 4 and 5, nothing comes together. Piece 4 is a western ridge. Not a massive one, just enough to redirect flow and allow cold air to spill south instead of racing east. The models show this developing around December 28th. Modest but sufficient. Piece 5 is timing. Cold air and moisture have to arrive at the same place at the same time. Too early, you get cold and dry. Too late, you get warm and wet. Neither produces snow. The phasing has to be exact. For the first time this season, all 5 pieces are showing up simultaneously. That's why models suddenly display major snow events. That's why the Deep South is in play. That's why the Northeast gets hit multiple times. Genesis chapter 1 verse 14 says, "And God said, Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years." The atmosphere operates on rhythms and patterns God designed. When we learn to read those patterns, we see order in what appears chaotic. The December 26th system hits first. Day after Christmas, the Northeast, still recovering from Christmas Eve snow, gets slammed again. 2 to 6 inches across northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, New York City, upstate New York, and southern New England. Boston sees 3 inches. Parts of Maine, close to 10 inches. But the real danger isn't the snow, it's what falls after the snow. Freezing rain on top of accumulated snow. The model shows significant ice accumulation across West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and New England. When ice coats snow, roads become skating rinks. When ice weighs down tree branches and power lines, infrastructure fails. Think about travelers heading home after Christmas. They left in decent weather, roads were passable, now they're returning through ice and snow. Accidents multiply, travel times triple. What should take 3 hours takes 8 or more. This is why preparation matters. Not panic. Preparation. The best part comes at 3 minutes 20 seconds, and it's this. Watching the jet stream in motion reveals everything about what's coming. For weeks, the jet stream has raced across the country in a relatively straight line, fast and progressive. That speed prevents cold air from settling and prevents storms from organizing. We get warmth, but not weather. Christmas week, that pattern peaks. The southern jet pours Pacific air straight into the central United States at incredible speed. Temperatures soar 20 to 40 degrees above normal. People in the Midwest wearing shorts on Christmas Day? No exaggeration. But speed creates instability. Around December 29th, the straight jet becomes wavy. Massive waves develop. The southern branch carrying moisture pulls north. The northern branch carrying cold dives south through the Midwest. When these branches collide, when they phase together over the eastern United States with Arctic air present, major winter storms develop. Not might develop, historically develop. This is atmospheric physics, not speculation. The model shows this phasing happening December 29th into 30th. That's the deep south snow setup. The models also show another phase around January 5th. That's the next major storm threat. Now here's what I haven't told you yet, and it extends beyond our immediate 10-day window. The European weekly model, which looks weeks ahead in 7-day increments, shows sustained cold developing in January. Not brief shots, sustained. First week of January still averages warm because Christmas warmth mathematically outweighs brief cold. But second week of January, blue colors appear, below normal temperatures. Mid to late January, the blues intensify. More areas, colder departures. By late January into early February, the entire eastern half of the country shows persistent below normal temperatures. Long-range models rarely show cold this far in advance. They're conservative, they smooth out extremes. When they show cold weeks ahead, that suggests strong atmospheric forcing, real pattern change, not temporary fluctuation. What drives sustained winter cold in the east? Usually a combination of factors. La Niña transitioning to neutral in the Pacific? That's happening now, blocking patterns near Greenland, preventing storms from escaping out to sea. Models hint at this for mid-January. Polar vortex disruption allowing Arctic air to escape south. Early signals suggest this is possible. All 3 factors lining up? That's how you get memorable winters. That's how you get January 2014 polar vortex events. That's how you get February 2010 snowmageddon. Are we guaranteed a repeat? No. Weather is probabilistic, not deterministic, but the ingredients are assembling in ways they haven't since those historic winters. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end." We see patterns, we make forecasts, but the full picture remains in God's hands. Let me walk you through the specific timeline day by day so you know when to be most vigilant. Sunday, December 21st. Today, brief trough over the Northeast brings snow to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and New England. Not major. Christmas Eve snow for some. The West Coast atmospheric river intensifies. Monday, December 22nd. Snow continues northeast. West Coast continues getting pounded. California sees rain at low elevations, heavy snow in mountains. Interstate 80 requires chains. Interstate 5 faces periodic closures. Tuesday, December 23rd. pattern remains active. Northeast and west. Central United States stays exceptionally warm as the southern jet races unimpeded. Record high temperatures possible many locations. Wednesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. Atmospheric river peaks over the west coast. Los Angeles to Seattle seeing strong storms. Lower elevations rain. Higher elevations measured in feet of snow. This continues Christmas Day. Thursday, December 25th, Christmas Day, warmest day of the month for central and southeastern states. Southern jet at maximum strength. Temperatures 20 to 40 degrees above normal. Enjoy it. This is the calm before the pattern shift. Friday, December 26th, first major winter storm impacts upper Midwest, Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, snow, and freezing rain combination. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all affected. Travelers heading home face difficult conditions. Saturday, December 27th, winter weather continues, Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Freezing rain persists, roads hazardous. Arctic air begins building in Canada, preparing to surge south. Sunday, December 28th, western ridge develops. Modest but critical. This redirects atmospheric flow. Trough moves into the east. Cold air starts pouring south. Set up for December 30th, deep south snow. Monday, December 29th, jet stream branches begin phasing. Southern moisture, northern cold. Models show this as the critical combination day. When jets phase with Arctic air present, major snow likely. Tuesday, December 30th, deep south snow event develops according to European model. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Carolinas, potentially impacted, 2 to 6 inches widespread. 6 to 10 inch bullseye, Alabama and Georgia. Wednesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, system moves offshore but coastal areas still affected. Separate system brings more snow to northeast. Multiple feet possible parts of New England if everything aligns perfectly. That's the 10-day roadmap. Multiple storms, multiple regions, millions affected. But remember, this is guidance, not gospel. Models update twice daily. Details will change. What we track is the overall pattern, not individual snowflake placement. Here's the perspective that matters most. Preparation creates options. Options reduce stress improves decisions. 5 action steps you need to complete by Christmas Day. Step 1. If traveling for the holidays through any mentioned area, monitor forecasts morning and evening. Not just departure and destination, the entire route. Winter weather can develop quickly between cities. Step 2. Vehicle emergency kit. Blankets, water, non-perishable snacks, flashlight, phone charger, first aid supplies, ice scraper, small shovel. $30 to $50 of supplies could save your life if stranded. Step 3. Home preparation. Test heating system now. Change furnace filter, verify backup heat sources if you have them. When cold air arrives after extended warmth, systems get stressed. Prevent failures through preventive maintenance. Step 4. Communication plan with family. If weather deteriorates, when do you postpone travel? What's plan B? Where do you shelter if caught between destinations? These conversations before storms prevent panic during storms. Step 5. Pantry stock. Not hoarding. Reasonable preparation. 3 days of food and water. If winter weather disrupts deliveries or makes shopping difficult, you want options. This is standard emergency preparedness regardless of season. Complete these 5 by Christmas night. That gives you readiness before December 26th when the first major storm arrives. Now let me show you something the models agree on even when they disagree on details. The American GFS model doesn't show the deep south snow event yet. It shows active west coast. It shows multiple systems affecting Midwest, Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast. But not the big southern storm. When models diverge, uncertainty is high. European seeing something GFS doesn't could mean European is ahead of the curve, or it could mean European is too aggressive. We'll know within 48 hours as both models update. But what both agree on: active pattern after Christmas, multiple storms, temperature swings, Arctic air by month end. That consensus gives us confidence in the broad pattern even when details differ. The temperature swings are remarkable. Christmas Day, 20 to 40 degrees above normal, many areas. December 29th, 10 to 15 degrees below normal, same areas. That's a 30 to 50 degree swing in 4 days. Your body will notice this. Joint pain increases during rapid pressure changes, sleep quality decreases, blood pressure fluctuates. If you're over 45, you've experienced enough weather cycles to recognize these patterns. Your body has learned to respond to atmospheric shifts. That's not weakness. That's accumulated wisdom. Your nervous system reads barometric pressure changes before you're consciously aware. Honor what your body tells you during major pattern transitions. The cold air trying to push south after Christmas faces resistance. The southern jet continues pumping warmth into the southeast. Cold has to work around warmth rather than displacing it. This creates complex battlegrounds where small shifts produce large outcome differences. A storm track 50 miles north means rain instead of snow for millions. A storm track 50 miles south means snow instead of rain. Temperature 1 degree warmer means sleet instead of snow. 1 degree colder means snow instead of sleet. This is why we focus on probabilities and ranges rather than exact predictions. The pattern is clear. Arctic air coming. Southern moisture available. Storms will develop. Exact locations and amounts? Those refine as events approach. Don't miss the next part, because what I'm about to share about January changes how you view this entire winter. The European weekly model showing sustained January cold isn't random. It reflects the Pacific Ocean transitioning from La Niña toward neutral conditions. This transition historically favors persistent eastern cold and active storm tracks. La Niña means cooler than normal Pacific sea surface temperatures in specific regions. This influences global atmospheric circulation. El Niño means warmer than normal. Neutral is in between. Neutral winters are historically best for eastern United States cold and snow. Not guaranteed, but statistically favored. We're transitioning to neutral right now. That's the primary driver of the January cold signal. Secondary factors include potential polar vortex weakening. The polar vortex is low pressure circling the North Pole in the stratosphere. When it weakens or splits, Arctic air escapes to lower latitudes. Some models hint at this for mid to late January. Blocking patterns near Greenland also appear possible. These blocks prevent storms from escaping out to sea, forcing them to affect the East Coast repeatedly. Models show hints of this developing. When you combine Pacific transition, vortex weakening, and Greenland blocking, you get ingredients for sustained active winter pattern. Not just brief cold shots, weeks of below normal temperatures and multiple storm systems. Is this certain? No. Long-range forecasting is probabilistic, but the signals are stronger than they've been all season. That's why the weekly model shows increasing cold as winter progresses. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6 remind us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." We prepare with wisdom. We trust with faith. Both matter. Tomorrow, I'm releasing detailed analysis of the January pattern beyond what we discussed today. Specific weekly breakdown, storm potential by region, temperature trends, polar vortex implications. It builds on today's foundation. This is sequential learning. Today covered late December storms. Tomorrow covers January evolution. Next day, we extend into February and early spring transition. You're getting comprehensive seasonal understanding, not isolated daily forecasts. The 3 storms we detailed today are symptoms of pattern change, from warm-dominated December to cold-dominated January, from quiet to active, from hoping for winter to managing winter. For those who love snow, this is the pivot you've awaited. For those preferring warmth, enjoy Christmas week because change approaches rapidly. Either way, knowledge creates advantage. Understanding pattern evolution allows strategic planning versus reactive scrambling. That's the difference between prepared and surprised. You came seeking snowstorm information. You're leaving with complete pattern comprehension. 3 major storm dates, deep south snow possibility, northeast double impact, January cold signals. All interconnected pieces of larger atmospheric reorganization. Tonight, execute those 5 action steps. Monitor travel routes. Prepare vehicle emergency kit. Test home heating. Establish family communication plan. Stock pantry reasonably. Tomorrow, return for January Deep Dive. We'll extend everything learned today 4 to 6 weeks forward. Long-range indicators, evolution predictions, what to monitor as winter unfolds. This transforms you from forecast consumer to pattern analyst, from reactive to strategic, from anxious to informed. Models update twice daily, details will shift, but overall pattern is evident. Winter arriving with intensity after Christmas, multiple storms, Arctic cold, active weather continuing into January. Share this with people needing this information. Family traveling for holidays, neighbors in potential storm zones, church community. Amplified knowledge serves everyone. The forecast evolves continually. We'll track every update. We'll communicate every significant change. We'll navigate this together with preparation, wisdom, and faith. God bless you. Stay safe, stay prepared. And remember, whatever weather develops, we face it together, equipped with understanding and readiness.